So Alan, we're here with your company here, the Calf Company. We're here in Derbyshire in England. And I suppose we've seen on some of your farms in the UK, your calf housing, and I suppose we have customers back in Ireland where calf housing is an issue on some farms where a lot of expansion has happened and people are looking for solutions to solve, or to make life easier for both the labour on the farm and also to make, I suppose, the calf life better and welfare better. So could you describe what we have here behind us?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, thanks for coming and nice to see you all today. So these are our OCCB units, the Ultimate Calf Climate Barns. So basically it's focusing on climate of the barn and calf health. So basically they are a 5 metre by 3 metre modular units. So we've got 5 metres depth, 3 metres width, 2 metres to the back, 2.5 metres to the front. The important thing about them is they're fully insulated. So we've got a 52mm insulated reinforced plastic wall here, which is bolted down onto a stainless steel bracket onto the concrete. We've got a fully insulated roof, and what this does, it actually keeps the environment for the calf in a really nice, healthy environment. And when I say that, I mean on a hot day, it's not too hot, it's nice and cool, and on a cold day, it's nice and warm. We've got to think about with baby calves. They are designed for baby calves, so they come in here from day one onwards, up to weaning. So these babies are just come in now. So with calves, they actually don't produce body heat until the ruminants. So the stack system isn't really there at this stage. So we've got to actually control the environment, and we do this by insulation. Another positive thing about the insulation is that we actually don't get any condensation and low humidity. Humidity, it's been proven, and we've done vet studies, humidity is a massive indicator that you're going to get problems with your calf health. So if you've got high humidity, and we all get high humidity, especially in Ireland, there's a lot of high humidity, with wet weather. Humidity increases, you get more pathogens breeding, and that affects the calf. So because we're fully insulated, you'll never get any condensation and low humidity in the units. We position them away from the direct wind, so we don't really want the wind coming straight into the buildings. We want it going across or over the back. Here at Andrew's unit, it actually works really well because we've got a bank at the back, which actually it's an open field behind us, but it keeps the units really nice and protected. As you say, we run on a very simple unit. On the floor, just going onto the floor, we've got a 3% fall from back to front. So that we do all the design of the pads for you, of the padding, etc. So there's a 3% fall, and what that does, it all collects at the front drain here. So all any liquid from the bedding collects at the front drain, which is then taken away. But also the beauty of that is when we decide to clean these pens out, they will be able to be power washed, disinfected, cleaned out and drained away with these calves right next door. So you can have cows calving. This is an older group, younger group. Once this group has finished and been weaned off and out, we can clean that building out, power wash this effect, and it will put no moisture into that shed, which is really, really important. And that's why we have our plastic walls going all the way to the ceiling.
Alan, can I ask, I don't see any vent on the back wall, or I don't see any skylight. Why is that?
Yeah, very important. It's a really good question, that is. We actually do that on purpose because if we put a vent in the back, it would act like a really big chimney. Because we've got such a big opening at the front, it would actually suck moisture and humidity and air temperature in. And again, on a hot day, you'd find the temperature would increase in these units. On a cold day, they'd be really cold. And another problem with having units with ventilated pieces at the back is that ventilated units are fine if you open them and shut them. You tend to find most farmers don't. So they'll leave them open all year round, whatever it is, and then that's not really working how it should. These units have been going for over 20 years in Holland, and we've been erecting them in the UK for 3 or 4 years now. So we get asked a question all the time, and it's a really good question. So we always say to the customer, look, put them on this unit for 3 to 6 months. If you think you wanted a vent in, we'll come and put a vent in the back. We've had no one do it as yet, because it does control the environment. Again, going on to your skylights, if we put a skylight in there, it would actually increased temperatures, which will be a stress factor to the calves. So with these, how they're set up, it's nice and bright in there. We've used bright coloured materials, but it actually just controls that environment within the calf area. And that's the important thing. You know, we get asked a question, you know, why don't you put the roof higher? Why don't we put it lower? Why don't we do this? They are specifically designed for baby calves. And I feel as a company, and when we go onto farm, there's been slight mistakes made with some buildings being over-ventilated for baby calves. When calves become ruminants and they get bigger, absolutely, we do need that stack effect system working. But as baby calves, we're working on a little bit of a different area. You know, they're not producing body heat, they can't keep themselves warm, so we've got to actually do that for them, and vice versa, cool in the winter.
Okay. So your water trough then as well, there's not a lot of water in it. Is there a specific reason?
Yeah,
for
it
that?
is. Yeah, if you see on the water troughs, we actually use a tongue system. We do that on purpose. We want fresh, clean water all the time. One of the big pathogen breeders is if you had a trough in there and there was water, that the calves are great. They'll go into the corn, they'll eat a little bit of corn, then they'll go and have a drink of water. If it was a water trough, then you get all your dirt, all your bacteria building up. Water troughs are a big bacteria build-up place, so we actually keep them like that on purpose. It's a tongue filled, touch the water, and it's all. Everything is included actually. So you got everything when we do them. They come with a milk bar. They come with a water bowl, 3 gates. Come with a corn trough, just so everything's included what we need for the units.
What functionality is on the gate?
So on the gate, dead important. First of all, with the front gate, it's there so it's easy to work with. So Josh will just bring this down. Want to make it very simple. So when we feed these calves, it's a simple over-the-top system. You see the calves are probably here now. Calves come to, calves drink. Once they've drunk, take that away, wash out. On the gate system, we want a very simple gate in and out. It's an access gate, so if you've got a calf that needs attention or you need to get into bed, make it very simple to get in and out of. Make it very full. Everything's got to be really functional.
And you can adjust your headlock as well here, can you, or your head
Yes,
rail?
yeah, on the bars, these bars can go, as the bars go up and down. As you get bigger, we move the gates up.
So does one leave the same amount of calves in it, or do you adjust as they get older, or what's your recommendation?
Yeah, basically, they are designed for that 7 to 10 calves up to weaning. So when we say weaning, we're roughly working at about an 85 kilo calf. Depending on your size of calf, they can be kept in a bit longer. If you wanted to keep them in up to 16 weeks, which we have some customers do, they'll only put 6 calves in at a time. One really good point is try not mix groups, because they become a friendship group, but also you've got that group of calves that have got the same health status. So what we don't really want to be doing is mixing groups of calves, putting them in and out all the time. So fill the group up, let them there, wean them off, move them off, next one comes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Alan, in terms of site preparation, what does a farmer have to do?
Well, basically they've got to go onto a concrete base. Okay, so with the concrete base, I think I may have said before, we want a slope from the back to the front of about 3%. So with that 3%, what it does, it takes all the liquid away from the bedding. We put a catchment drain up just in front of the front gate. So that does 2 things. A, it takes any liquid from feeding or from the but also when we decide to wash out and clean them out, we go in there, usually on the cleaning outside, they go in there, go in with a man or 2, grab the muck actually drags out. It's really good to have your floor as smooth as possible, so that when we take the muck out, it's really easy to do.
And Alan, on that, like when you're putting in the bucket, you're turning the bucket down to drag it back, are you? Or are you pushing it in?
No, they're basically grabbing it and pulling it. Yeah. And what you tend to find is, because the bedding will be packed in at that time, the grab goes in and you'll find you'll drag most of it out with you. So it drags it out as it goes in, a little bit of then just to bring out and scrape out. I've got one customer does it with actually a bucket and scrapes it out. There's a number of ways of doing it. Okay. But if you make that floor nice and polished inside, nice smooth effect, it will clean that bedding out quicker. We don't have to worry about slippage, because obviously we're putting straw down on there. The base needs to be, we do a base plan for you. We can actually supply bases if you wanted to, but most farmers usually use their own builders or then do it themselves. The base, as you say, the 3 metres by 5 metres. We want a 250mm cushion skirt of concrete around all of the sides, just so that we have a good drill fix with what's going on. But they've got to be on a good concrete base unit. They are a fixed unit. They're not a unit that moves about, it's a fixture.
Okay, so price-wise then, just for, you have 6 units here?
Yeah. Yeah, so price-wise, they're working out at the moment at 3,950. So altogether here is about 24,000 altogether.
Sterling.
Sterling, that's sterling. Obviously, prices depend on destination. And we tend to bring 16 units on at a time on one truck. So our average size of unit being put onto farms between 6 to 10. So we usually do 2 drop-offs. But we work that in we discuss all that with customer we always do a pre-site visit as well, which is most important, to make sure that where we're putting them is actually correct and we know what's going on. So we always do a site visit pre
So how many units would you typically supply to a farmer? What range have you done?
So the smallest is 3, and the biggest we've done a 20.
In one full length or
no,
10 and
no,
10?
A 10 and a 10.
Right.
So when we get over 10 units, it gets a long way to travel about up and down with your milk. So we can do another 10 unit facing. So we've got a 10 and a 10 facing. We suggest that you have 5 to 8 metres of space in between the 2 groups, just so that we've got time to turn in and clean out and etc. etc.
Okay, is it install and supply and install, or is it supply only, or how do you work?
Either way. So we can supply direct to customer. We have plans there to help fix, or we've got a team of fixers who will come and a team of fitters who will come and fix. Or if the customer wanted, they're quite hands-on, but they want our fitter for the day, just to get the frames down, because obviously it's dead important to get everything square and straight and just to go through everything. We can put our fitter on for a day or a day and a half. Typically 6 units, these were fitted in a day and a half to 2 days, depending obviously on weather and time.
Okay, and to finish this segment, so on this, the calf company, what else are you involved with?
Oh, we do, we concentrate everything to do with calf rearing from day 1 to week 12. That's our bespoken area, okay? So from there, it's calf feed, so milk powders, we do a number of milk replacers. We do feeding equipment, we do supplements, we do colostrums, so we do all that side, calf housing, mechanical mixers, all that. We've got the website and we've got an online shop on the website. But we are calf rearers, we're farmers, we're calf rearers ourselves. This is where we got the idea of the company from. I was rearing up to 1,000 calves here at one time. Buying my own milk powder, we started to move that, use that advice, what we've learnt on farm, hands-on ourselves. I moved on. I've done a lot of work in Holland and in Europe. We saw these units, the Dutch invention. We saw these units in Holland, we saw how good they were, how healthy we were. And there's a massive thing, and I think this is so important going forward, there's going to be a massive push for all dairy farmers to use less antibiotics. We know it's coming, we know we've got to use less. And to get environment for calves, that's one of your main reasons you'll reduce your antibiotic use.
Okay. Thanks for your time here today, Alan. It's a novel idea and it's good to see it in reality.
Thank you, nice to see you, thank you.
Thank you.